All right. As it stands now, teachers are on a salary schedule. Okay, there is a salary schedule for teachers. Classified employees do not have a salary schedule. Would you be in favor of classified employees being placed on a stepped salary schedule, and how would you go about it?
Well, again, I'll finish off where I left off last time, if I may. I understand the tier system and the step system to a certain degree in regards to pay for personnel. I think any raises or any amounts of money that are going to be invested in salaries for teachers and for personnel that work for work at our schools and have that one-to-one contact with individuals, I think it's important to be across the board. I did mention in regards to the salary increase that we all saw play about in these past couple of months, and the minimal amount of increase of salary for different individuals in the different departments. When the budget was read, and when they had their committee meeting, everyone approved the budget. I mean, everyone across the board approved the budget. It was A-OK back then, and no one placed a complaint back then. And then all of a sudden, as soon as the election season starts rolling around and getting close to it, then everyone's concerned about the bus drivers, everyone's concerned about the cafeteria personnel, everyone's concerned about teacher salaries. But they weren't concerned back in June when they had the budget meetings. And it's very hard at times, you know, to be at the meetings, to go to the meetings, or to see the meetings, because they're all online, and I'm fairly good at being online for some reason. But it's very hard, you know, because you all go there to the meetings, and your leadership goes there, and they express their views, and then it seems like it's like a pandering system, you know, because they use key words like, oh yes, we have to be concerned. We have to be concerned that the superintendent got a raise and the bus drivers didn't get a raise. But they voted for the raise unanimously. But during the meetings, during that time, everyone's all excited. And then everyone starts clapping, and it doesn't help, folks. What is wrong, and what is right, and what they do at those board meetings is wrong. It's got to stop. And it can stop November the 8th. Sorry.
I do support responsible salary increase. I don't claim to know everything that's going on in the school district, but I am a taxpayer, and I also know the difference between right and wrong. But I always support responsible salary increases.
On the classified pay, it is a very sensitive issue. Give you somebody mentioned bus drivers and bus managers. We only say drivers, but the managers are also involved in this process. See, in transportation, I was there. I lived it for 8 years. I know the process. I know the system. See, the 4-hour block of an employee, a maintenance personnel, a secretary, that's the block of a 4-hour block of payment for your duties and responsibility. When you come to the transportation department, there's not one in the valley that pays the bus driver 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the afternoon. Reason, because their duties and responsibility is only that of the driving the bus, taking students back and forth. Cleaning the bus, of course, is included in the process, in the time. So when we say when we make a promise to people that we're gonna pay the bus drivers 4 hours, 8 hours a day, then you have to be careful how you do that, because it could be considered gift of public funds. Because that block of driving is not 4 hours. Those routes are 2 hours, 2 hours and a half, 3 hours the most. And that includes the preparedness of the bus, the cleaning of the bus, and all the system. So let's be very careful how we detail that. Do I support a pay for the classified? Yes. I think that they deserve it. They deserve it, and we just need to do it the right way. Thank you. Okay. Okay, no problem. No, I'm about to finish. I'm just saying that I do support the pay of the classified, but we have to do it the right way. Thank you.
I believe whether you're a bus driver.
Candace, for a second.
Opposed, right, we have none. Okay, whenever you're ready, Rolando.
They wanted to throw me off on purpose.
I apologize. You want
That's all there is to it. It's conspiracy.
the question reread?
No. Now, the facts are these. This is the way I look at it when it comes to classified. Classified are like teachers. They work extremely hard. People will tell me about the bus drivers. No. You have a superintendent that has worked here for less than 2 years and gets a $35,000 raise. Yet we're arguing about a bus driver who earns what, $8.50 an hour, $8.95 an hour. What the superintendent got is a raise would probably pay 2 bus drivers, and we can't give them 40 hours to support their families. Well, I don't believe in that. I believe in raises for a classified, just like I believe in raises for teachers. And if we can justify a pay increase of $35,000, which is almost as much as incoming teacher at BISD. BISD teachers are now $41,000. $35,000. You're talking 2 bus drivers, maybe 2 bus drivers and a half, 3 receptionists, because we have a reception over there when I worked at Garza that was only earning $900 clear a month. That's to me is embarrassing when we're justifying a $35,000 raise. So, do I believe in increases for classified? Yes, I do. Just like I believe in increases for teachers. $35,000 amounted to about 18 to 19% increase in their salary. For you teachers, everybody, it was 2.5% to 2%. Think about it. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to make a mention what I said earlier about making sure that we're looking at being competitive. And if we're being competitive with our certified staff and our classified staff, I think someone said earlier, you know, a happy teacher has happy students and a happy campus. Well, you know, if the living conditions, the working conditions are not at the competitive level where they feel valued, we're not going to have happy teachers, and we won't have happy teachers. We won't have happy students. And it's real important because actions have to mean something. What we say has to mean something. And if we're saying that our teachers are valuable, our bus drivers, our bus monitors, our classified staff, our secretaries, then we don't go and give the top a double-digit raise. We give them the same percentage raise as we give our other employees. That's fair. To do anything else, again, is lip service, and it sends the wrong message. It means you value the top before the bottom. And without the bottom, you have no foundation. You don't have a foundation, and our kids suffer because our teachers don't feel valued. And giving them a $1,000 raise, which basically is about $90 a month, and a little less than that for some, is nothing. Let's talk about being meaningful. Let's talk about making sure that our salaries are competitive at all levels, and talking about our classified staff. When we give raises to our classified staff, it should never be less than the same percentage that we give our certified staff. Never less. And some of you say, well, they make a little less, so that needs to be a higher percentage. No, we have to fix that. We have to be more competitive. Our bus drivers get paid to move to IDEA or to Harmony. Our teachers are getting recruited back to Harmony, to IDEA. They're getting paid $48,000 plus starting pay, and we're at 41, 42. That's just not right. That's not right. Thank you.
I think it's important to keep up with inflation. I think that it's embarrassing for any of our employees to have to resort to finding or picking up second jobs in order to be able to make a decent living. So I definitely support pay raises, not only for classified, for all BISD employees. Thank you.
You know that just recently, like about a week ago, we approved a compensation plan. Well, I didn't. I'm going to tell you what was wrong with that compensation plan. We looked at a position that went from one pay level to another pay level, from pay level 19 to pay level 20. There was no study. There was no review. The board was told it needs to happen, and it happened. There was 2 board members that voted against it. Again, I voted against it, and it was a classified employee, as a matter of fact. But we have a problem because the district itself has positions throughout, and all the positions have a starting, mid, and high. Some of our employees have been with the district so long that they've already maxed out. Maxed out. So the inflation, the cost of living doesn't come and knocks on the door and say, hey, are you maxed out? Because, I'm not going to, the cost of living is not going to go up for you. The cost of living is going to go up for everybody. And let me tell you one thing. I've challenged CFO currently, and I had spoken also to Mr. Chirinos, who's our current president. We need to commit to give our employees, just like they do at the police officers union and the firefighters, we're going to give a 7%, 3, 2, and 1%. Or 3, 3, and 1. If it's a 6%, 7%, whatever the increase is, that we commit to it. It can be done, but you have to have the right people at the positions that they hold, which is a CFO, is the one that tells us this is what can be done because it's a reoccurring expense. Right away, they tell the board it's a reoccurring expense. But it's a reoccurring expense to the superintendent, to anybody. So if it's good for one, it's good for all. And that's where I stand. And yes, I believe in the raises.
Pay increase for classified employees, you bet. I think everyone should get a raise annually because the cost of living is done annually. The cost of living keeps going up. If you keep somebody at the same pay for 2 or 3 years and yet the cost of living didn't stop going down, you're already in the negative. If you give a teacher, a bus driver a 3% raise right now, cost of living is already beyond that. So we need to set an appropriate salary, and from there annually we can go from there and say, hey, you know what? As a whole, we're all getting 2%, including the superintendent. Okay? Everybody either gets the same or nobody gets anything. And I'm not for that. I'm for everybody getting a raise because the cost of living has to go up. As a minimum, the cost of living has to be included in that next salary. It's very important. It's very important. Finances is something that no one should be concerned about, but yet it's a way of life. But that should not be a worry for a teacher nor an administrator. They get paid high money, sure. They got greater responsibilities. I understand that. I understand that. Bus drivers, I have to tell you something. They don't just drive children from point A to point B. They have to make sure that bus is safe. No matter what the maintenance people say, he's the last one and the only one that's responsible for that bus. He has to make sure he knows that every child has gotten off safely.